Now, with no further ado, if we could please welcome John, the father of the bride, to the stage.
Before I begin my own personal ramblings, the management have asked me to address a number of important issues relating to the venue and its use. No. The fire escapes are exactly for that, escaping in the event of a fire. Please refrain from using them for a quick puff, as clear access is required at all times. Toilet facilities are communal, so ladies, please feel free to use the urinals, as this will keep the queues to a minimum. Offering the staff a drink is welcomed, but it's strictly forbidden. They would rather have the money, preferably. For those guests who have come from outside of Glasgow, the knives, forks and spoons are for usage when you're eating the food. For those guests who are from Glasgow, there is a metal detector on the main door, just in case you forget to return the cutlery after the meal. Any complaints can be dealt with www.foff.com. So, to get to my own speech, good evening everyone and welcome to St Luke's. On behalf of myself, my wife Liz, and our newly extended family members, Gavin and Fiona, I would like to convey our thanks and appreciation for your partaking in this wedding celebration of the newly betrothed Mr and Mrs DL. We recognise fully the efforts you have all made to share in a special day and want you to know that the friendship and support that you have given over the years is highly valued and warmly embraced, not only by us the parents, but by the newlywed couple themselves. They have been greatly touched by your generosity and your willingness to be part of their lives. From their hearts they offer their gratitude, their prayers and their love. It is a very proud day for myself personally, as not only do I get the opportunity to publicly tell my daughter how much I love her, but I also get to be a witness to her joy as she begins her married life with Jordan, who undoubtedly loves her as much as I do. Jordan brings so much to the relationship through the qualities that he possesses, and a great deal of appreciation should be given to Gavin and Fiona for raising a son whose core values are respect, honesty, and most importantly, making my daughter happy. Jordan first came to my attention through a series of random situations that occurred early on a Sunday morning in July 2013. I had tapped on Teagan's door, and with no response coming, I gently pushed it open with the intent of offering to make her her favourite breakfast of French toast. The head that popped up from beneath the bed sheets completely astounded me. I thought, my God, my daughter needs to shave more often. I left the room much quicker than I had entered it, with a strange sense of foreboding, or was it realisation swirling in my head? To take my mind off the murderous thoughts that were pulsating in my brain, I rumbled about in my toolbox, thinking that a little bit of DIY would be just the distraction that I needed before having to tell the wife that we had a guest. About 20 minutes later, I met Jordan again. I was coming out of my bedroom and he was coming out of Teagan's. Both of us stood and stared up at each other before Jordan, being the better man obviously, offered his hand and introduced himself. My first words to Jordan did certainly not reflect my first thoughts. I placed the hammer that was still in my hand gently on the floor, watching the relief in his eyes as I gripped rather than shook his hand. I remember saying to him, "Hi, I'm Teagan's dad," all the while thinking, should I kick him down the stairs? Should I jump on his toes? Or at least, should I tell him that it didn't suit my daughter's underwear? I returned to my bedroom with a father's dread, whispered my complaints to my slowly awakening wife, and phoned the local undertakers to inquire on the price of a coffin. Half an hour later, and there he was again, sitting at the kitchen table, chatting away with Liz and giving it high fives with Reese. My only daughter wrapped around him like a pair of well-worn curtains. And both had been grinning from one side of their face to the other. Even a doting father knows when the sands have shifted. So I gave him some French toast and sat back and watched as they basked in the early glow of their blossoming love. From that day onwards, he became a frequent visitor, tenant, So much so that our evening dinners and weekend breakfasts depended on what Jordan wanted to eat. He used his undoubted charm to butter up my wife Liz, form a friendship with my son Reese, and continually make me feel like choking on my cornflakes by openly expressing how much he loved my daughter. Needless to say, it wasn't very long before I started to realise that not only was he a very special person in his own right, but he was also possibly the very person who would replace myself as the most important man in my daughter's life. It gives me a great feeling of contentment to know that Jordan has so many honourable values, and that the dreams he has for his new wife run closely to the dreams that I had for my daughter. He should be proud of the man that he is. He should understand that there is so much love for him from both sets of parents, and he should stand shoulder to shoulder with his new wife as they begin this new chapter of their lives with joy, happiness and love always in their hearts. So, having concluded with the obligatory plaudits to all others in the wedding party, it is only right that I now give you an insight into why I believe that my daughter is more than ready to become a trusted companion and an amazing wife to the man that she wishes to spend the rest of her life with. So without further preamble, please indulge me in any sentimentality or tears, as these last few paragraphs will see a closure to what has been such a significant part of my life, but will also see a new beginning, as I look forward to sharing in her happiness, as she strives to realise her dreams and fill her untapped potential as the woman that she presently is and the woman that she will become. Teagan, it is extremely difficult to find the words that would do justice of describing how much I love you. If I wrote for the next 100 years, I still don't think it would be possible to explain how proud I am to be your dad. On the day that you were born, you opened doors in my heart I never knew existed. I was completely overwhelmed by how I felt towards you. And when I looked at you today as you professed your vows, I knew my love was still as strong as it had been on our first day. It may be that you have changed your surname, but nothing will ever change the fact that you're my daughter. In the days preceding Teagan's birth, I unfortunately fell foul to a football injury. This resulted in a varying degree of pretty painful back spasms, very similar in discomfort to labour pains. The consideration of the nursing staff at the Rotten Maternity Hospital was second to none, as they procured me a bed directly beside my hyperventilating wife and told me to keep her spirits up any way I could. So I did this by telling her that I fully understood just what she was going through, as my back was killing me. The hysterically screamed words of F off and A-hole were ringing in my ears as they quickly wheeled me out of the ward and into an empty corridor. The resident midwife told me in no uncertain terms to man up and stop in such a big girl's blouse. With nothing to do but wait, I repeated to God all the prayers, hopes and wishes that I had requested over the previous 9 months, and took my place at my wife's side as she prepared to give me a gift that nothing can ever put a value on. Teagan came into this world with nearly as much hair as she has today. She was howling like a banshee, and she looked none too pleased to see her mum and dad for the first time. It was immediately obvious that my prayers had been answered. She was healthy, full of life, and kicking like an angry horse. It was also obvious that my hopes had been truly answered as well. She was so beautiful, and even the tears filling my eyes couldn't diminish how she looked to me. You can't be too upset at 2 out of 3, as it seemed that my wishes had been overlooked. My request for her to have the voice of an angel had certainly felt like yet, as I cradled her in my arms, it seemed to me that it was the sweetest sound that I had ever heard. Teagan's granddad thought she looked like Mowgli from the Jungle Book. And needless to say, she proved to be hard luck, as we tried to turn her into a little princess, rather than a little toe rag that she preferred to be. We dressed her in the prettiest of frocks, the cutest of shoes, and even put little bunches in her hair, but all to no avail. Usually within a couple of hours, she was so dishevelled that both her grandmothers said she had more resemblance to Bam Bam from the Flintstones than any princess we might have dreamed of. Time has a habit of bringing everything a full circle, and if you look at Teagan today, then you'll see that all her hard work has paid off. She looks beautiful, she looks radiant, and without any doubt in our minds, she more than eclipses any vision of what we thought our princess would be. Teagan has an inner determination, an incredible work ethic, and an opinion on most things. And she commits herself, then she does it wholeheartedly. And today she's committed herself to marriage and to become the wife of the man who holds her heart. Teagan will undoubtedly bring her own personality to the union, but will be backed up with the strength of love that comes from everything she's ever been taught or shown. A whole new life awaits, with challenges round every corner, and standing side by side with the man she loves will see my daughter achieve all her dreams. It's all right, carry on without it. That's what props are for. Teagan, the door to my heart will always be open, and the door to my house will never be closed. I think about you every day, and I pray for you every night. I take great pleasure in seeing you smile, and even great pleasure when you give me a hug. There is nothing for you that I would not do, and there's nothing for you that I would not give. You're all I could have hoped for, and yet you're so much more. You know the faith that I put in words, and the strength that they carry to others. So remember, love is a gift that should always be shared. Give it freely, and you will receive so much more in return. The newlywed couple are not here on a whim. They have found a common path that they wish to share with each other. And today is an affirmation of two people giving themselves completely and without reservation. We presently share a beautiful apartment, aptly decorated by Teagan's creativity and Jordan's mastery of DIY. In fact, after only a couple of months of being in the new apartment, Jordan commented on Teagan's creativity by saying, "You should see what Teagan does in the bedroom." Turns out he meant to say, "You should see what Teagan has done in the bedroom." Seems he was talking about her painting on the walls. Teagan, on the other hand, was blown away when Jordan told her that he thought a spirit level was for measuring drinks. So, as you can see, they bring different attributes to their partnership, and it is those differences that make a marriage. Total acceptance of each other's strengths and weaknesses will unite them as one and keep the fires of their love burning forever. What they have put together in such a short space of time is an extension of their love for one another, and a great starting point for a journey that will last a lifetime. It is their duty to hold up the vows that they both committed to today, and it is our duty as witnesses to support them. We all shared in a special day, let us make it a goal to share in the rest of our lives. It gives me great honour to ask the assembled family and friends to be upstanding and to offer a toast on behalf of the newlywed couple. May you always walk in the light and let others share your path. Jordan and Teagan. I would now like to pass you on to the man of the day, Jordan DL.